We'll go through an introduction to how to do a system schema. That's where one thing that we can do that helps us analyze interactions or forces on objects that we're studying. So this thing that we're studying has a robot pulling Adam Savage, I think his name is, in a rickshaw. So we'll go through and look at how to do a system schema for this setup. First thing I'm going to go through and do is draw a layout of the different objects that are interacting. So I'm going to separate each one out and name them and circle them. I'm going to separate them out how they're laid out here. So that right there is the robot. So I'm going to say robot, circle it. Then the next item that I'm going to identify is the rickshaw. Rickshaw, circle it. Then I'm going to say Adam up there, Adam with a circle. And then the last thing that's interacting I'm going to include is the Earth. Down on the bottom, Earth, circle. So those are the different things that are interacting. That was my first step. Step one, name each object that interacts. There we go. Step one, down. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to identify which objects interact through contact. So not everything is in contact with everything else. If I start off with Adam up here, is he in contact with the rickshaw? Yeah, sure, you betcha there. So Adam in contact with the rickshaw, a solid double-headed arrow there. Is Adam in contact with the earth? And not in contact with, no, he's in contact with the rickshaw, but he is not in contact with the earth. Is Adam in contact with the robot? Well, again, he's in contact with the rickshaw. He's not in direct contact with the robot. So Adam is only in contact with the rickshaw. I'm done analyzing the contact interactions with Adam. Now, if I go to the rickshaw, we already said rickshaw, Adam in contact. Rickshaw and the earth, do they contact each other? Is there an interaction due to their contact? Well, there's that contact right there. So yes, I will add that interaction by contact there. So we've got rickshaw Adam, rickshaw earth. Does the rickshaw contact the robot? Well, that would probably be that harness place spot right there. So I would say, yeah, the robot and the rickshaw do interact by contact. So we've done Adam and the rickshaw. Now if I go to the robot, does the robot contact the rickshaw? We already have that. Does the robot contact Adam? We already said no. Does the robot contact the earth? Yep, the robot and the earth are in contact. So that is the last of our contact-based interactions. So now when I go over here, that's the second step I'm going to describe. Step two, solid arrows, solid, double-headed arrows, for contact interactions. So now step three, there are some interactions that don't require contact. And if I let you think about it for a little bit, you could probably come up with some. What sort of interactions or forces or pushes and pulls don't require contact? Think about that for a minute. Can you come up with any examples? You might have been able to come up with a couple. It's an unusual thing to first start thinking about in this context, but you are surely aware of like the Earth's gravitational pull on things. So the Earth's gravity and that gravitational interaction does not require contact. Magnets can also interact with other things without actually physically contacting them. So what I'm going to do now is the non-contact interaction. The Earth does gravitationally non-contact interactions with the rickshaw. The Earth does have gravitational non-contact interactions with a person, Adam. The Earth does have non-contact gravitational interactions with the robot. So I have those double-headed arrows for those interactions there. So my step three. You notice these are dashed, not solid lines. So I'm going to say dashed double-headed arrows for interactions that do not require contact, or for non-contact interactions. The last thing that we generally do with our system schema after we've identified everything and drawn all those interactions, we have all of these things that interact. We at some point need to decide or indicate what system it is, what thing it is that we're actually studying. And in this case, in most cases in class, the problem or the question will tell you you're studying Adam or the rickshaw or the robot or Earth. The problem will tell you what thing you're studying. With this demonstration, I haven't said this prior to this point, but I'm just going to say, hey, let's assume that the question was asking us to do a system schema for the robot. We include all of these things that interact, and we simply say, hey, the robot is the thing that we are studying. So step 4, box around the system. And that's how you end up going through and completing a system schema. There are other things that are done with that afterwards. That's time for a separate video.